Imagine, for a moment, growing up in the unforgiving streets of New York City. The harsh reality of living in an environment where violence and poverty were everyday occurrences, where opportunities seemed as scarce as hope itself. In neighborhoods where dreams often get crushed under the weight of struggle, one young kid found an escape, an outlet not just for survival, but for self-expression. Picture this: a boy who, despite everything stacked against him, managed to create a style of play so innovative, so unique, that it would forever change the game of basketball. This wasn't just any style. This was a combination of creativity, raw talent, and pure grit, a skill set forged in the fire of hardship. His game became an art form, a dance on the court that left defenders helpless and fans in awe. A kid who grew up on the cracked asphalt of New York's neighborhood courts, with nothing more than a ball in the streets as his classroom, would go on to rewrite the playbook of basketball forever. But here's the twist. This wasn't some fictional Hollywood story or the plot of a movie. No, this was real life. A player who started in the gritty, unforgiving world of streetball rose to claim a spot on the biggest stage basketball has to offer, the NBA. And this wasn't by chance. It was a story of relentless dedication, creativity, and unwavering belief in his own abilities. This is the story of Rafer Alston, better known as Skip to My Lou, a man who made the leap from New York's legendary streetball courts straight into the elite ranks of professional basketball. Through all the trials, the setbacks, and the struggles, he became a living example that no matter where you start, if you have the passion, talent, and drive, you can carve out your place in history. Today, we're going to dive deep into the incredible journey of this true survivor who not only defied the odds, but whose skills would captivate the entire world. Get ready to learn about the man who turned the streets into his playground and the NBA into a stage. This is not just a story of basketball. It's a story of resilience, ingenuity, and a journey that proves the impossible can be made possible. In a world where the path to elite sports is a narrow one, where only the most physically gifted, the most disciplined, and the most determined ever make it to the highest levels, Rafer Alston's story stands out as a remarkable anomaly. While most athletes follow a predictable route, started with youth teams, then progressing through college, and eventually landing in professional leagues, Rafer's journey was anything but conventional. Rafer, or as he is known on the streetball courts, Skip to My Lou, took a path that few could even imagine. Instead of playing for a prestigious college team or following the well-worn path to the NBA, he emerged from the very streets that so many others from his neighborhood never made it out of. In the heart of New York City's legendary Rucker Park, a basketball mecca, Rafer was a constant presence. His dazzling dribbles, jaw-dropping crossovers, and unorthodox moves left defenders bewildered and fans in a state of awe. The man could weave through defenses with a kind of fluidity that made even the most seasoned players stop and stare. It was in these concrete courts that he honed his skills and became a streetball icon, showcasing a style of play that was raw, fearless, and completely outside the norm. But Rafer's talent wasn't just reserved for the rough courts of New York. His exceptional ability didn't go unnoticed by the world of professional basketball, and soon his unrefined, yet electrifying style was brought to the NBA, where he played for over a decade. His game may have originated from the chaos of streetball, but it thrived in the structure and discipline of the NBA, where Rafer proved that creativity and improvisation could be just as effective as textbook technique. The remarkable thing about Rafer's story is that it's not just about athleticism. It's about resilience, authenticity, and staying true to oneself in a world that often demands conformity. He proved that the concrete courts of New York were just as valuable a training ground as any college gym or NBA practice facility. His story is a testament to the idea that the game is bigger than where you come from. It's about what you bring to it, no matter your background. Today, we're diving into the story of Rafer Alston, Skip to My Lou, a man who went from the anonymity of the streetball courts, where the world didn't know his name, to the dazzling spotlight of the NBA, where he became a household name. His journey is one of evolution, adaptation, and, above all, passion for game. Get ready to learn about a true innovator, a genius of improvisation, and a warrior who never backed down. This is the story of a basketball legend who proved that the greatest talent often comes from the places least expected. In the 1980s, the Queens neighborhood in New York was a mix of cultural effervescence and social tension. It was in this environment, both creative and dangerous, that Rafer Alston was born in 1976. Rafer's childhood was marked by absence. His father was a drug addict, his brother ended up in prison, and he had to learn from an early age how to fend for himself. But amidst so many absences, one presence made all the difference: the basketball. Streetball, more than a game, was a form of expression. Public courts became stages where creativity and courage were more important than any conventional technique. It was there, under iron rims and the watchful eye of the community, that Rafer began to develop a playing style that resembled a dance. And it was there that everything started to change. Today, when we talk about talented players emerging from streetball, it's hard to find someone who's been able to break through the barrier between the underground world of basketball and professionalization in the NBA. Unfortunately, most never make it past the neighborhood, the local court, or the mixtapes on the internet. The transition is tough. Academic demands, support structures, the right connections, all these factors limit access for many talented young people. Rafer Alston, however, was an exception to the rule. Even with disciplinary problems, family struggles, and academic barriers, he managed to carve a path that few have been able to follow. His presence in the NBA was much more than statistics. It was proof that it is possible to rise from the periphery to the center of the sports world with talent, resilience, and creativity. Some people say streetball is just entertainment, that players on these courts are only good for mixtapes and wouldn't be able to adapt to the disciplined play of the NBA. Others, however, believe that it is from the streets that the true basketball genius comes, the one who plays with soul, who creates on the fly, who turns the game into art. The story of Skip to My Lou shows that these two views don't have to be exclusive. He brought the creativity of streetball to the NBA, but also learned to respect the fundamentals of the professional game. It was the fusion of these two worlds that made him a legend. Rafer Alston's arrival in the NBA impacted generations. He didn't just open doors, but blew them wide open. Young people who saw themselves limited by the academic system or social conditions began to see a new route, the one of persistence and authenticity. Alston proved that it is possible to maintain your identity even when entering a demanding system like the NBA. His 11 seasons, nearly 7,000 points, and more than 3,000 assists don't tell the whole story. His true legacy lies in the inspiration he became for an entire generation of marginalized players. How many young people today have the same spark in their eyes, the same gift for sports, but will never be seen? How many don't have the structure or the right guidance to follow the path to success? Rafer Alston's journey is a call to all of us to look outside the official courts, to give a voice to those who play in the streets, to invest in initiatives that recognize talents born where few look. Sometimes, the greatest talent is hidden in a corner of the city, dreaming of a chance. For more Skips to emerge, we need bridges, social projects, grassroots tournaments in underprivileged communities, partnerships with schools and colleges that offer academic and athletic support. It's not about offering chances as charity, but recognizing real potential. Digital platforms also play a crucial role. Mixtapes, social media, live broadcasts of amateur games are showcases that, if well utilized, can turn into trampolines for promising careers. And above all, it's necessary to guide, to show that discipline, focus, and preparation are allies of talent. Rafer Alston is more than just a name etched into the annals of basketball history. He represents something far greater. He is a symbol of hope, resilience, and the raw power of authenticity. His story is proof that talent doesn't discriminate based on your background, your zip code, or the challenges you face. Genius doesn't require a silver spoon or an elite upbringing. It can emerge in the most unexpected places where others might see despair or limitation, but where Rafer saw opportunity and possibility. His journey from forgotten streets of New York to the bright lights of the NBA is a vivid reminder that greatness is not confined to the privileged. It can be born in the most overlooked corners of society, where the hustle and grind of everyday life give rise to some of the most creative and innovative minds. Rafer Alston's talent wasn't something that society had a blueprint for. It was something he had to carve out for himself, against all odds. In doing so, he showed the world that your environment does not have to define you. What matters most is your drive, your ability to think outside the box, and your unyielding determination to never give up on your dreams. Rafer wasn't just a basketball player who mastered his craft on courts. He was a revolutionary in his own right. With every crossover dribble, every no-look pass, and every impossible move, he redefined what it meant to play the game. He wasn't just following the rules. He was rewriting them. He turned the street courts, the gritty urban playgrounds, into a stage where basketball became an art form, where every play was a stroke of genius, and every game was a performance. What Rafer proved us all is that the streets can be just as much of a school as any formal institution. The lessons learned in those concrete arenas are no less valuable than the ones taught in the classrooms of elite colleges. Style and substance are not mutually exclusive. One can have flair, creativity, and individuality, and still excel in the most structured, disciplined environments. Rafer embodied this truth, that passion and ingenuity can coexist with discipline and skill. His story is not just about playing basketball. It's about dreaming big and having the courage to chase those dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. It's about turning passion into perseverance, and perseverance into success. Dreaming is the first step, but it's the fight, the relentless pursuit, that makes those dreams a reality. Rafer Alston's journey is a testament to this, and it reminds us all that no matter where we come from, with enough heart and determination, we can break through any barrier and achieve greatness. Rafer's legacy lives on not just in the records he set or the highlights that continue to inspire, but in the hearts of all those who were told they couldn't make it, yet found the courage to try anyway. He is a beacon for anyone who dares to dream, an icon who proves that with enough creativity, spirit, and resilience, even the most unlikely player can rise to become a legend. If the story of Rafer Alston touched your heart and ignited that spark of inspiration within you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends, family, and anyone who needs a reminder that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. Imagine how many people out there have untapped potential just waiting for the right opportunity to shine. You might know someone who has that raw talent, that gift, but just needs a break to make their dreams a reality. Comment below and let us know. Do you know any hidden talent that just needs an opportunity to rise? Who's the next Rafer Alston in your life? This is more than just a story about basketball. It's about hope, resilience, and the power of believing in someone when the world seems to turn a blind eye. And by sharing this video, you could be helping someone find their chance, just as Rafer found his. So hit that like button to show your support for this powerful message. Your support could make all the difference for someone who's just starting their own journey. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on stories like these. Here, we celebrate the underdogs, the fighters, and the dreamers who prove that nothing is impossible, even when the world says it's out of reach. Every week, we dive into the stories of those who defied the odds and made history, and we want you to be part of that journey. By subscribing, you'll be joining a community that believes in second chances, in talent that goes unrecognized, and in the power of persistence. We're all about shining a light on those who took the road less traveled and emerged victorious. So, stay tuned, because more incredible stories like Rafer's are just around the corner. Let's keep the conversation going, share your thoughts, and never stop believing in the power of dreams. See you next time, where we'll continue to share the stories of those who changed the game.